This is Bodycam, and it is easily one of the most realistic looking FPS games I've ever had the chance to play. And believe it or not, it's made by just 2 people. I want to thank Rasad Studios for sending over a copy of Bodycam to try out. The 2 people making it are French developers Luca and Leo, and they are 17 and 20 years old, which is pretty astounding, shows off their talent. At the same time, this is an Unreal Engine 5 game, and also shows off the ridiculous potential of Unreal Engine 5. Let's first talk about the game itself. It is now in early access. You can pick it up on Steam. It's, I think 30 some odd, maybe $33 here in the North America region for Steam. Pretty steep in my opinion for what you get right now, but we'll talk about that and just sort of go through my thoughts on the game thus far. This is a very unique FPS game. It does not feel like, from a gameplay perspective, like anything I've tried thus far. The movement is very weighty, and it can feel pretty clunky at times, but that is because you have to get your feet under you with some of the systems. The main one being, you really can't turn quickly left or right on the horizontal axis if you are ADSing. You pretty much need to do all of that left-right turning if you want it to be quick outside of ADS, then bring the weapon up. Aim, no, UI elements, you're just having to gauge where things are based on the crosshair, and it is very cool. You could probably tell in the footage. I look drunk, trying to move about in this game because it does take a while to get used to how it feels. But when you do land a takedown, it's pretty darn impressive. The game is multiplayer only at this time. I think that's probably going to be what they're going for. I looked in their early access notes. I don't think they have plans for like PvE or single player stuff. Could be wrong. But the modes that are available right now: Deathmatch, so free for all, up to 10 players. They've got TDM, which is 5v5, kind of round-based, and then the Body Bomb mode, which is also 5v5. They are planning on making some more modes that will come after the release of the game. It is not milsim. They make it pretty clear. It is realistic, but it is not a simulation game. It's an intense FPS focused on team play. When you die, you get to go into the view of a drone. You can communicate with your team, what's happening, and it is visually, come on, this is crazy. As I was playing it, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The fact that 2 developers made something like this is astounding to me. The game has a few maps. This new playtest had a few of the new ones, and I think now in the early access there's more. It's got shotguns, SMGs, assault rifles, pistols, flashlights. The flashlights are super cool. Flashbangs, grenades, all the stuff that you would expect. And they have more weapons planned post-release. So they are talking that the pricing of Bodycam could change after early access. They say they want to offer a quality gaming experience at an affordable price. That price right now at $33. What I will say is you've got to gauge for yourself like where the value lands for you. This is incredibly unique. There really isn't another game out there like this right now. But from the gameplay perspective, I will say I think it's cool that they made something that feels very unique and weighty, and it has to be that way for the animations to look as good as it does, for it to maintain that ultra realistic vibe. But it's not like incredibly fun to play if you're more accustomed to like just the usual FPS multiplayer feeling, right? It takes a while to get used to it, and even after I was sort of getting my feet under me, I wasn't sure if this is the type of game that I would put, 20, 30 hours into. It is super cool. I'm going to follow the development. I'll come back for the updates, and it is unique, and I do want to support that for sure. But at this point, especially with early access games, so much can happen, so much can change. So if you're on the fence, I would just say watch streams and YouTube videos for now, and you can make the decision as time goes on. I do think with how big these Bodycam style videos have blown up on social media in the last year, that big developers of like military style FPS games are probably going to look at this and do something similar. Maybe they get like injected with some funding, or maybe they just co-opt the idea. I could see this being something in an upcoming like Call of Duty game, or I don't know, Battlefield. I think this style, since it grabs so much attention on the social side of things, is something that publishers are absolutely going to look at, and we probably are going to see more Bodycam style games like this. Don't mix this up with that other Bodycam style game, Unrecord. This is a different one in the same vein. Also, it's kind of awesome. The guns you can probably hear in the background. It's so loud. It's so incredibly loud. Yeah, you have all the stuff to change those settings in the audio stuff if you want to, but it really is going for that realistic, you're watching a Bodycam style video vibe, because it will just blow your eardrums out. I would say if you're like a paintball player, or maybe if you play airsoft, this would scratch that itch incredibly well. It has the leaning mechanics. It's got just so much of the visual vibes of like a paintball map or an airsoft map, and I am blown away. These devs are super talented, and they've made something unique and very cool. I also think this could be a ridiculously cool building point for a horror-style first-person game, because truly it is pretty nerve-inducing going around a corner, peeking. This would work so well in like a spooky jump scare style game. Also, as far as I can tell, every round starts with randomized weapons, and everybody has the exact same starting weapon, which is pretty cool. Keeps it very fair. I don't know if that'll be how it goes moving forward, or if in later modes you'll be able to pick your loadout. We'll just have to wait and see. But again, maybe a Rainbow Six style game down the road looks at something like this and does it very similar. Plus, I think there's a weather system here. You know, it can rain, it can snow. It's kind of crazy the amount of details that they put into this thing. I'm sure once VR is added to this next level, if they decide to go that route, I will say that if you are somebody who gets motion sick playing fast-paced FPS games, this one might trigger that, so just be aware. Overall, crazy impressed, super cool what the devs did here, and I'm excited to see what the rest of the early access development kind of looks like. Let me know what you think about the footage, these style games, in the comments down below. Have a good rest of your day, subscribe for more, and we'll see you again in the next video.